Alright everyone, welcome to An Outcry. Full disclosure before we go any further, I have received this build of the game from Quinn themselves, and while I have any communication with the developer, I have very much decided to go into this somewhat at their suggestion as a full playthrough, but also because in thinking about how I wanted to explore An Outcry and the fact that the review I did leave felt so brief, so limited in its engagement to the ideas at play here, that to be honest, the only real way to engage with this game is to actively play through it, and from my perspective as a Let's Player, comment on it, and fuck me if this game does not grow more timely with every passing day. But yeah, just wanted to make people aware that this is somewhat at the request of the developer, but at the same time, you already know my thoughts on this game. You already know how vital I feel like this game is, how this narrative fucking matters right now. And yeah. Sorry, I'm in a weird headspace. It's taken me a while to psych myself up and actually sit down and do this, because it is a very hard game to go through if you're in a certain kind of mindset. And again, there are content warnings for this game: suicidal ideation, domestic abuse, violence against animals, racism, xenophobia, homophobia, transphobia. Like, it deals with some heavy shit. But at no point would I consider this to be crass or in any way badly handled. This simply is as it is. I would still recommend, if people do want the best experience possible, do go out and, cop it for a couple of quid. I mean, it won't be the same watching me play this, I'll be honest with you. I'll probably be going through some fucking shit, but I would always say that the best experience is to try it yourself. Anyway, let us begin. All characters portrayed in this story are fictitious. Any resemblance to existing public figures is both incidental and inevitable. This game deals with numerous heavy topics, and as I said, here are the content warnings. This game contains one or more instances of sudden loud noises, flashing images, suicide, recreational drug use, blood, gore, transphobia, and animal death. Do you wish to opt out of depictions of animal death? No, I think we can do that. Understood. The scene in question will play out. Please prioritise your mental and physical well-being over finishing or even playing this game. And yeah, I have to agree. There is a time and a place to engage with content that's challenging for you. And while I would definitely say that there is a reason to engage with things that you will find challenging, there is no reason to engage with things that you know will actively harm you or will drive you in a certain negative direction. Like, you can't just watch Stalker every fucking day. As much as my brain wants to sit down there and watch it every single fucking time, no. Sometimes the brain needs a break from the fucking dark shit. Alright. Oh, thank you. This game is controlled with the arrow keys. Use the Z key or spacebar to interact. X and C cancel, and open the menu. Yeah, controller works too. Yeah, bub. Way ahead of you. Got my fucking light up kitten headphones on for the authentic TM gamer experience. No, it's gamer TM. Fuck! I've already got it wrong. God damn it. Distant bird calls welcome the night. An itch. No matter how far you walk, you never feel like you're there. Standing up from their chair, the unnamed tosses a book to the ground. The itch intensifies. They forget. They need to scratch what is in their chest. Shoes get pulled over their heels. A jacket wrapped around their shape. The door is opened. They emerge. Now they are almost in your hands. Almost. The unnamed turns towards the door, then back. They fill their pockets for desired items: a cigarette, their lighter, their keys. Shit. They forgot all of it. It's going to be a long night. They need to get their mail downstairs. Their wrist is slender enough to do that without keys. Their addiction is a different story. They need a lighter and cigarettes. Not the first time they've made the rounds looking for that. There's a lot of time to kill. Enough time to bomb smokes off every one of their neighbours. And I will be the first to say, scoring for this game is a fucking bop. Even though this is like weirdly unpleasantly discordant, it's still very, I don't know, like lo-fi hip-hop beats to have Dissociative Episode 2, I guess. Oh god, anyway, moving swiftly on to my first neighbour. Oh, they're a lovely individual, don't you just worry. Mr. Schmidt opens the door. A strong odour of burning cigarettes fills the air, overwhelming even to the unnamed's trained nose. Schmidt's fingers are clamped around a smoke. From what little of his apartment they can see through the crack, it is furnished entirely with natural wooden tables, cupboards, and bookshelves. You, at my door, at 10 p.m. And now we have some choices. Yes, me at your door at 10 p.m. Which, to be fair, just state the obvious right back is not a terrible idea. That's more of a non sequitur. So yeah, me at your door at 10 p.m. Fucking deal with it. What do you want, boy? Unfortunately, indecision seems to be our only option. What? You suddenly enlisted in mime school, feeling trapped all in a tiny box? Look, I know what it's like, being trapped. Body isn't what it used to be. Don't get out too much. But for Christ's sakes, at least go to a cafe for a coffee and a smoke sometime. Will do you good. Does me good. Oh, I don't know, sort of hobby or something. If I can work with my hands on intricate model ships, well... Nah, never mind. You're just a fucking klutz. You can never create anything that intricate. Now leave me alone. The unnamed sighs. Conversations with Schmidt typically don't go differently from this one. Maybe Mrs. Eisen will give them what they need. Or better yet, Anne. So yeah, Schmidt does what it says in the tin. Lovely gentleman. I'm sure we'll be having very productive conversations with him later on. Anyway, well, who's this? Miss Yilmaz? They think that was her name. Honestly speaking, she is probably the neighbour they know the least about. Their paths briefly cross from time to time, specifically when she is following her janitorial duties around the building. As the unnamed knocks, an exhausted voice calls, "I'll be right there!" Soon, Miss Yildirim opens the door. From behind her, the unnamed can faintly hear two young boys arguing. "Good evening." "Oh, good evening, Miss Yildirim." "That is almost my name." "Oh, I'm sorry. Mrs. I am still married." off to an easy start. What did you want to talk about? Well, let's be sociable at the very least. How have you been? I can't complain. I guess I can't. I should be grateful, actually. Working is hard, but living could be worse. Life could be better too. Socialism, straight out the gate! Ah, no, hang on a second. We should never ask for more than we are given. It leads to unhappiness to do so. If you believe so, madam. I don't really know. I understand what you mean. A beat. If you are looking for a smoker, you have the wrong door. There's one more to the left. Or two. Got it. Thank you. Good night. Good night. Social awkwardness. Beautiful. Yes. Feed it directly into my veins. Sadly, the unnamed cannot get into a breakdancing competition throughout this game, although fuck me would I love that. Well, let us proceed further and further till we find someone amenable to our help. Amenable to our help? Did I even English just then? I didn't fucking English just then. Oh god, anyway, moving swiftly on. Behind a door refurbished and polished to a sheen lies a dreary hole swallowed by whitewashed walls that flicker in perpetual TV static. This is Miss Eisen's place. After a few seconds of silence, she approaches and opens the door. Her nightgown is dirty and reeks of cigarettes. Why, hello. Who do we have here? The boy, but a girl, but a boy. Let me tell you, when you moved in here, you were half your current size. You were never going to be a girl like this, let me tell you. Of course, Mrs. Eisen. I needed to ask... Yes? Got a cigarette to spare? Pardon, dear? I said... Did I hear that right? Oh! You can not be serious, dear. Oh, no. I certainly don't have any handouts to give to somebody such as you. I thought you and I were on friendly terms, and here you are asking me again for a gift, giving naught in return ever. How wrong I was. Pray tell, when, remind me, was the last time you took out the bin you and I shared the courtyard with, but what else? They are still there. And who else but I is relied upon you and everyone else to clean up after you? Leave it for the old woman whose throat can scarcely yourself a reed of slaughter, but you should be ashamed of yourself. You are just awful. You will never be able to say that it's not cruelty, that is the cold, harsh truth that others are too afraid to tell. I'm afraid, not a fruitcake such as you. Any which way, I cannot give you even a single cigarette until you have paid me for the ones that you've already taken. I could certainly spare more if you were to go to the tobacconist's for me. But oh dear, it closed just 3 hours ago. You may just have to wait. Always a pleasure, Gertrude. Quite the opposite, dear. Pull a damn weight soon, and for heaven's sake, eat less. Good night, Mrs. Eisen. Pardon? I said good night, Mrs. Eisen. That is miss to you. Yeah. Time for best girl. Your name quietly smiles to themselves, but their knuckle meets the door of their friend. Oh god, who? Coming! They sway back and forth on their heels, waiting for one Anne Pierrot, romance novelist and self-proclaimed poet extraordinaire. And there she is! 'Tis I, your gal pal! Hi, Anne. How you doing, girlfriend? Haven't seen you leave your apartment for anything but a smoke this past week. Can't be healthy. Oh, I see. Well, you'll have to bear with my pleasantries first while they're hot. How are you? I'm... okay. Oh, dearie me, you're a bad liar, baby. What's eating you? Come on, out with it, young lady. I'm not dodging that. Don't call me that, please. No, of course, of course. I'm sorry, baby. I promise it won't happen again. Yeah. No, seriously, hold me to it. I've known this for a year now. It's high time. A beat. Just, it has the same energy as the I threw up meme. Just, I locked myself out. Who are you? How did you get in here? I'm a locksmith. And I'm a locksmith. Wait, what? Should that be that? I'm confused. Ah, seriously though, I can pay for a locksmith if you need one. No, thanks. Some smoking supplies would be appreciated though. Calhore, I find a cigarette. I'll offer you one right now. I don't even have a lighter. Oh, baby, I've got a veritable million of those. Suit yourself. Which one do you want? Some pretty decent options. Cool skull lighter, trans flag lighter. Let's wrap. Trans rights. Haha, person of taste. Here you go. The unnamed and a trans flag lighter. Thank you so much, Anne. Are you coming to smoke one with me? I'm so sorry, dear. I don't have any to spare. The cupboard and cardboard box is a bare. No tail in sight, no smoke, no light, to hell from flame to burn so bright. Who said that? An extraordinary poet. Schmidt's probably got what you need. I can smell his flat from the other end of the building. Tell you what, if you want to loop around to gossip or need help, just let me know. Thank you, Anne. So I'll see you later. Anne is so good. Like, again, I'm trying not to foreshadow anything at all, but just Anne. Fucking MVP for this game. As far as the unnamed knows, apartment 4 is empty. And it will remain empty, apparently. Well, we'll have to go and try Schmidt again by the looks of things. At least we've got a lighter this time round. The unnamed hears a commotion in the direction of their apartment. Oh shit, okay. Oh, am I too close? Am I scaring you, officer? Look at the little Turkish missy playing Sheriff of Nottingham. This is really uncalled for. I clean up after you all the time. The least... Ha! They're not like you're anything more than a spineless doormat. Horst, what's your... That's right. You'd smoke indoors too if you could. You're just too weak to try. Frankly speaking, Miss Yildirim, cleaning up after a man is just what you're best suited to do. Schmidt tosses a lit cigarette on the ground. Come on. Get on it. No. No? Yes. I mean, no. I'm not going to go standards abuse just because my children were a little rambunctious. Try a whole fucking dump truck of noise. It's just a little ash. How hard could it be for you to just do as you're told? No. Go back inside. Or do you want me to call up your dear employer for you and make you do it? Huh? Clean it up! The unnamed stands frozen. The reverberations of Schmidt's voice are heard through the halls of the building. Unignorable. Yet nobody is complaining or doing anything. And it seems they only have one option. There we go. That's what I thought. Barely contained crying is audible. If your children make another peep, you're out of here. Mark my fucking words. Oh, look. You're here. You want something? I failed to ask before. May I have a cigarette? Sure, little man. Have a whole pack. Look yourself unconscious on that sweet, sweet perfume. You know my cigarettes are self-rolled by the tobacco from overseas. You'd better fucking appreciate it. And also, fall unconscious. And sleep. And quit disturbing me while I'm building model ships. Is this really okay? Yeah, sure. I roll like 100 of them every day. Knock yourself out. The unnamed got some cigarettes. Are they strong? Fuck, little buddy, they sure are. They'll knock the wind out of you. Now go have a pleasant smoke and then scoot off the fuck to bed. And make no more noise. That won't be possible. Lock myself out. Oh, long night ahead, huh? Well, don't come crying to me about it. Cigarettes obtained! And self-esteem absolutely put through the fucking floor. God damn it. There's not really a reason to disturb Miss Yoganum anymore. Maybe to say sorry. Well, let's go and pick up some mail and have a little cheeky schmuck. The unnamed slides their hand into the mail slot. They can feel a small sheet of paper. They catch it between their fingers and pull it out. Package arrived while they were sleeping. Due to occupant absence, it was left at the front door of the building. Oh, no. The Vienna City Belt. A place of restriction. The constriction of tenant belts and cheap liquor served to hungry heads. People pass here only ever to get through, or by. The old names should know. Their package is not before the main entrance, but there's something suspicious lying in the road they should look at. Got a few things to look at here. Graffiti on the wall says something to the effect of, "The rent here is shit. The rent is too damn high." The unnamed agrees. Stol per steam. Stumbling block. Substantive. 1. A figurative hurdle to somebody's thoughts, causing them to fail. 2. An art piece by artist Gunther Deming. Inscribed here are the names of people killed by a force of hate. Here lived a name, a human being, a person, a specificity, a span of time in history. Institutionalized or fled, then caught by the Nazis and murdered. Killed on a specific date. Not the only one on that day, in a specific place designed for killing. Their absence is palpable here with this memorial, one among thousands. Yeah, it's not getting any lighter than this, guys. The unname's eyes unfocused and stare off into the distance. Take a look around. Sure. There's a piece of paper stuck to the asphalt, pressed deep into its rough shape by relentless tires. It looks like the page from a book. Oh, no. Beneath the many wheels there is a battered copy of Robert Coover's The Public Burning. the contents of their package is unsalvageable. Fucking hell. Jesus fucking Christ. The Austrian right-wing party advertises full force in this district of the city. Like spores, these political advertisements sow the Cheshire Man's smile into the brains of the despondent. His eyes an unnatural steel blue, his features photoshopped to eternal youth. Every so often the unnamed will linger before one of these posters and examine it. They always contain these strong slogans in inexorable letters. Statements like, "Our money for our people. No livelihood for foreigners. Let's take Vienna back. Your foreign neighbour isn't safe. Against lies and corruption. We, it will soon turn out, are plenty corrupt ourselves. Vote the Freedom Party's Sebastian Schrey for Chancellor 2017. You would think this might polarise, but the unnamed still isn't sure what the AFP stands for exactly. Damn, son. Joker mode. Looking at the stunted tree in the station shade, the unnamed is reminded of their old therapist. His office, even now, is just a couple of paces from their apartment. At one point last year, before the unnamed would switch to someone different, that therapist gave them the task of drawing a tree. So they did, and handed in their result. The response they got was, "That's it?" They felt a little alienated from their therapist in that moment. It seemed almost like he wasn't assessing the milieu of the tree, the actual point of the therapeutic exercise, but their lack of art skills. Soon thereafter, other pieces would slot into place. The heated discussions on therapy time about whether fixing bikes and computers counts as art. His obsession with keeping the unnamed a smoker. It's just what artists do, etc. And, of course, partner therapy. They'd really rather not think about Alex again. The U6 line is a rotten place, full to the brim with people, most of them impoverished. They don't like to admit this to themselves, but the unnamed too is poor. They have tried time and time again to get a job, to no avail. So they keep trying and trying and trying, their curriculum vitae in their dead hands. Not impressive enough. Cars speed by, all going the same direction, further and further down the bend of the city belt. The odd police and ambulance blare their way past the unnamed. One time, about 2 years ago, the unnamed had made a decision. They would go into the road and become a windshield passenger, like a bug or a bird. Yeah, like a bug. At 1 AM they set their first step onto the tyre-flattened asphalt. The day's fading heat warmed their shoes. No cars came for a few minutes. Traffic lights had changed. Yet soon their approach turned imminent. For a moment, the unnamed did not care. It brought to mind the light at the end of the proverbial tunnel, a release, a better place. However, some kind of inner conviction pulled them, forced them back onto the pavement. They swallowed their tears until they got back inside. All reasons, any reasons, weren't good enough. Aren't good enough. But sometimes, even now, they still want to go back to that moment and fight their survival instincts. Yeah, see what I was talking about with the heavy fucking shit. Oh yeah, sorry. This is made in RPG Maker, by the way, so we have got all this stuff going on. Teeth 29, resilience 48, memory 150, heart rate 90. Damn. I'm such a fucking idiot. I saw nickname and thought, your nickname is United Nations? No, that's I'm a fucking idiot. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Oh. The only true gift from the unnamed father. Their shirt. They're not taking it off. Smoke and recover. Simple lighter in trans flag colours. And here we have some of the skills we have. Soothes the unnamed, recovers SP, cures numbness. We will get into this later, but it is worth noting this is not necessarily a game intended to fuck with you. Like, you can, just in the menu, fully recover your health and your SP. It is basically just a very straightforward mechanic to ensure that even if you come out the end of a fight absolutely rinsed, you are more than capable, by just remembering you have these abilities, to bring yourself back up to full health immediately. Sounds small and almost counterintuitive, but again, this is not a game about forcing failing conditions. This is a game about the door won't open without keys. Fuck, okay. They ring Anne's doorbell. Door number 100/5. Who's there? Me. Sorry, Anne. You're silly. Did you try to smoke out on the street? Not quite. Come on in, you. I'll keep it on autobus from now on. Oh yeah, no, I've definitely had days like that as well. Just step out, spectacles, testicles, wallet, and why forgot my keys. Anyway, the building bulletin board. There are 4 notices. Which will they examine? In the sake of completion, all of them. Notice for delivery drivers. Dear postdoc delivery drivers, this fine building's door numbers start at the top and end at the bottom. The lower the apartment number, the further upstairs it is. The last shall be the first, a familiar sentiment, I'm sure. 2. If you arrive after dark, do not attempt to use any light switches and do not shine your flashlight into any of the residence's windows. People are trying to sleep. 3. If you decide to make your disgruntlement known through vandalism, I will not hesitate to call the police. 4. If you are unable to read this notice, please find Miss Esma Yildirim, our brave janitor, at door number 7. I am very sorry for your inconvenience. Regards, the landlord. There is a notice in Turkish written with careful blue cursive posted underneath. I cannot even begin to try and pronounce that with a semblance of decent Turkish. So Google Translate.
Yol tarifine ihtiyacınız olursa daire 7'ye gelin kolay gelsin.
That was probably still pretty bad, but anyway. Public service announcement. Lights not working? Dear concerned resident, I have received your notice regarding the wiring of the halls and its present incapacitation. It was heard loud and clear. From henceforth, rent will be doubled so as to account for my being required by a request to save up for a complete electrical overhaul of this building. This house is from the 1930s. Its wiring is irreparably obsolete. It lies outside my power to fix it. Unless you feel a personal responsibility to right this wrong, I suggest you bring a flashlight with you at night or move out. I am very sorry for your inconvenience. Regards, the landlord. PSA, no fire extinguishers? Dear concerned tenant, while I harbour some measure of goodwill towards those distressed by the darkness of these halls, I do not recognise your complaint at all. It is not this notion that this building, or any building, in the inner vicinity at all could catch fire is preposterous. I suggest that, as your worry of perishing in a fire is so great, you purchase your own personal extinguisher, maintain it regularly, and stop smoking in your abode. There only ever is fire where there is smoke, and he who is guilty prefers to point at his fellow men. I am very sorry for your inconvenience. Regards. The landlord. Rent is overdue for Gorber, G. Bernhoff, F. Steinschaden, A. Yildirim, E. Make a payment immediately to obviate the need for legal action and eviction. I, too, need to make a living. I am very sorry for this inconvenience. Regards. I think I just brought up a tonsil. Regards to the landlord. Oh, God. That was not worth the bit. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, God. Out in the fresh city air. Out in the fresh city air. Car fumes dampened by the apartment walls that encircle them. The unnamed thinks. Time to poison this place some more. They click the lighter, igniting it. Stone sparks firing a gas. The itch in their chest, the gaping maw makes grabby hands, clicks its jaw at the cigarette even before it is lit. The unnamed feels like they can focus a lot better now. Like their mind has travelled out of their body, like a carbon monoxide copy of them was sent to a safe place. Saved. "15 cigarettes, 15 slots, both diminished by 1. They had better make the most of that. Use a cigarette from your pockets to save."